Yeah, there we are. That's good. I put my headphones on again after 3 years. Sad but true. I think I would like to hear my own voice now. Let's see how we can do that. I think this should work. Testing. Yep, now I can hear myself. Okay. This thing here is not being updated. Why not? I can move it. Testing 1, 2, still not. Maybe this monitor. Testing. No, it's completely dead. Yeah. I really wish why it's not updating. It's just really weird. I've no idea how to find out. Is the bug in the window manager? Or is the bug in X11? If I restart this thing, what happens? I think it's possible to restart it. Patch pay, graph. Active. There's so much shit. Well, this one is empty. So that's... then we lost the music. At least the music that I hear. But here there's something else. I think if I kill the non-mixer, I lose this and this and this and this. And this. And this and this, everything. That should not really matter, but I think that after that I just lost my audio if I restart it again. Pretty sure. Audio just doesn't like it. Okay, then we have another alternative. What if I first disconnect everything? Maybe that would work. Activate. Nobody knows what that is. I think if I just toggle activation. Okay, now it's on or off. I think now it's off. Hardly visible. If it's off, I can disconnect something. So let me try. Let's disconnect something not too important. This one. Cannot even disconnect it. What? Okay, then maybe it's... What about now? Still not. Nobody knows. I'm going to try disconnect all. Are you sure? This will in all sockets. Bang. Nothing happened. Oops. Yeah, that was not what I wanted. Okay, this is really horrible now. Oh, there we are. Yeah, that was not what I wanted. Well, I'll just have to restart the stream and whatever. So I'm going to try to restart non-mixer. Let's see. I have which start audio by that thing, and then there is a mixer somewhere. There's a P grep. What does that do? There's a kill also. Oh, that's a PID. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I can kill. Well, I already know it. Does that kill it? That is the question. So let me just start audio. Testing 1, 2. Is it just a matter of those two mutes, really? Testing 1, yeah. I think everything works again. How great is that? And now it animates. Testing, testing. It could be a little bit louder, I see. Especially this one. It's already on +6. No, let's leave it at this then. Okay, hello. Yeah, still on time. I'm going to do some hacking again, but my voice is a little bit delayed, so that doesn't work. I'll just turn this off. Okay, so I cannot hear myself anymore, but that's better, I think. I'm facing a horrible problem. Probably just old age. I cannot remember anything anymore. Okay, but what I want to do is generate the GLSL declarations. say I run my program, write output to a log file. And I have, why do I exactly code them here? Okay. Let's see, do we already have a compile? Nope. Well, that doesn't help. Yeah, I'm in the middle of making changes and so no log. Let's see if I can show what I'm doing by just using the code. Bear with me, okay? I have to think sometimes. Okay. So you need to know what the shaders are. Here's an example of a shader. Shader code. Normally those start with version something. Oh, come on, I have that. Not anymore. Version 450. Nope. Well, here I do. And here I do. Okay, that was a good enough example. So here is a shader code. It starts with version 450, and then we have declarations. One, not another declaration, another declaration. And then a tiny itsy bitsy of code. What I want is that the declarations are generated. So I just write this, and then this is generated. And most importantly, often those declarations contain certain values, like this location here, this 0 here in particular. Here we have two other ones, both have location 0, but that's because one is in and the other is out. This is a very minimal example, hardly an example. Okay, anyway, the big benefit of generating it is that I then do not have to think about those numbers, location and binding and set and lots of stuff. It should all go automatically. And then my shader code looks like this. I leave out the version and I use stuff like this, which is not GLSL. And then I pre-process. So this is my, say, shader template code, which is pre-processed, meaning that this string is found and replaced. And here's another one. It's found and replaced. And here's another one. And then for each of those, we also do not have a declaration. So it also adds declarations in front of here. So that's done by the preprocessor. So let's look at the code that does the preprocessing. So it's a grab project sources, preprocess. Well, that's here. Okay, we enter this function. It's going to do pre-processing of the source code. Just load it all. It's not big. Load it all in memory. If the template already starts with, oh, that's why I couldn't find it. I said a version space hash 450, but it's just hash version. Okay, if it already start with this, then I do not pre-process, but well, this should not be there then, and then we continue. And then I'm going to loop over shader variables. The shader variables contain those strings that need to be replaced. I call those strings GLSL ID. Don't ask, just random name. This is the strings that I just pointed out. Like, well, they always have a double colon in it. And double colon does not appear normally in GLSL, so they are easy to recognize. Yeah, sometimes I wonder why I explain things to my viewers, because they just left. I might as well just work and do something useful. But okay. I want to get rid of this loop and then do everything in this loop. It's also a loop over shader variables. I think I would like to see the... Yeah, this is better. Stream health maybe. Yeah. Now I can see the chat if someone says something, but at least I do not see how many viewers I have. Oh, actually I do, up here. What if I don't want to see that? Go away. Yeah. Okay, we run over all the shader variables and get the match string that must be matched. That's a GLSL ID string. Then I find that in the source code, starting at pos. So this loops over all the instances of that one string. And I store that position. And I make a pair that also stores what it has to be replaced with, namely whatever this function returns. Yeah, that part definitely works, is not a problem. This is a different story, generating of the declarations. Before I just called shader variable declaration for every string, every ID string, but that works for vertex attributes, but not so much for, say, push constants. Instead, I want to call now is used in for each string, and then only update a declaration context, which is found by this is used in and then returned. So I'm storing all the declaration contexts that are being used, changed in declaration context, which is a set. Should declare up here. A set of declaration context pointers. I might as well just comment this out already. I'm not sure if I make it myself more difficult if I do this. Why not? In the end, it's what I want. We do not have that, and we do have this. I'm gonna put it down. Let's put it there. Well, maybe with a comment. Store each position where a match string occurs together with a standard pair. Hi, Nix. I was just explaining to my two viewers what I was doing, and then they left without saying anything. So please tell me if you want me to explain what you're seeing, so you can maybe better follow it. Because it only costs me time, and if people are not interested in me explaining things, then I'd rather just work. I mean, I'm talking out loud anyway, but it's not exactly the same as going, you know, spending time on explaining things that are already totally clear to myself. Right, so I have source code, GLSL source code, and I want to find strings, these strings, and replace them with something and generate declarations. And the way we do that is in this loop here finds all the occurrences. Well, this loops over all the strings, and this loops over all the occurrences of that string. And then I store where they happen, where they were found in the source, together with what they need to be replaced with. Okay. And I'm also calling shader variable is used in, and then a bit for the shader stage, which returns a declaration context, which I then store in this set. So what is a good comment? Store all the declaration context that are used, influenced, changed, involved. Involved is a good word. Now hopefully this works. However, I did not implement is used in very much. Plus, I still need to generate my declaration. So afterwards, we have to loop over all these declaration contexts. Let's say well, I'm totally happy with repeating that. Declaration context. Declaration context. So, and then declarations add declaration context generate something like this. I don't know. Let's have a check. Okay. I'm reading what you say. Are you going to make this engine open source? It already is. It's on GitHub. And what's the fundamental differences this vulkan engine and solutions for the game developers of what? No, well, I'm insane. The way I write this, nobody else did. But it's not necessarily a good thing. Many people are writing vulkan engines at the moment. I don't think any is really totally finished, so that you can just take it and start writing your game, but mine will never be finished, so at least don't wait for it, I think. So let's see. If you run Linux, then you're super welcome to check it out and try to compile it. That would be cool. I can use some testers. Okay, currently I have two shader variables that I half implemented. That there are the vertex attributes, and I'm skipping vertex attributes here. So I should also not do that anymore because have commented out the loop at the top. So now it just, if it occurs at all, counts, you know, how often that string, we found the string, and then we count how often it occurs, and if it occurs at all, then I call is used in. So I have two is used ins. Note that shader variable here is this class, a pointer to the shader variable, which is a pure vertical base class. So it just has a certain interface, and then yeah, I'll have to implement those things. So I still have a declaration that returns a declaration, but I don't think I'm going to use it anymore. So it's not used at the moment. Also, this is no longer necessary then, I guess. This is returns a string that must be replaced, and this returns what it has to be replaced with. And then we have, yeah, the is used in, and just now I added another one that does return a string, and that would be generate, right? Right, so this is the whole API that I'm using right now. Okay, now we have two classes, vertex attribute, and the other one is push constant. Let's see if we can find them like this. So yeah, you see struct vertex attribute final public shader variable. So this one is derived from that base class, and then implement stuff with override. It's down here. So we do not use that anymore. We do not use that anymore, and I need to add the standard string generate here, const overrides, and implement it. But okay, as long as the headers are okay, then compilation doesn't take that much time anymore. You just compile one compilation unit, one.cpp file, or cxx in my case. And I'm gonna see what push constants look like. It's another push constant. This one's derived from shader variable. Can also be final. And again, okay, let's put that here, and then we have not that, but, and not that. Okay. Now let's do the vertex attribute first, I would say. So I have vertex attribute, which implements used in. So I switch to the cxx file. Here it is, and that, yeah, asserts on always. Oops, because it is not implemented. So let's implement this, and I think declaration is no longer used. I can comment it out, start with commenting it out, but this is going to contain, I think, a lot of code that I'm going to need in my new function. First of all, this looks up a location context. Yeah, that won't work anymore because I shouldn't have that even. So this returns a location context object, but I want to replace that as well. See location context. Location context contains a map from, I guess, GLSL of the GLSL ID string to the current location, and that's the locations that I showed in the GLSL shader code. The vertex attributes have a location number, or they start at 0 and then 1 and then 2. So it's start here at 0. And then this map just remembers which location, which number 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. It goes with which vertex attribute. You want a link? No participants anymore. I don't know why people leave that quickly. You ask the question and then he leaves. Okay. Pretty sure he's gone. Okay, yeah, I was explaining again. I should not do that, I guess. Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm going to replace it with. I have a vertex attribute declaration context. I still have to add that, I think. Let's add it, and then it should be added to... I need something to paste in. Call it. What the hell was that? Yep. Right, what shall I do? I'll add the link to the description right now, just in case. I think I was using GPL3, am I not? Yay. Copyright. Yeah. Yeah, it's not much copyright. Maybe I'm using this. That didn't work. What the hell, man? Yeah, it's funny. It is funny, but there is a copyright thing. Yeah, copyright. I probably should use just GS. There's no copyright in vulkan sources at all. Wow. Pretty sure my intention was to use a GPL3. What is one of the latest? Oh, here's vulkan. Oh no, it's something else. External. Let's say a copyright with 2020 in it or later. Gotta be kidding me, right? That's one of the latest. If not the latest. Version 3, yeah, GPL3, okay. Probably should add a few more copyright statements here and there. Yeah, basically I don't care. That's the point, of course. Okay, so the source code of this project is free, open source, GPL3. You can that you can find on Git. Yeah. GitHub. What about just a period here? Period. The Git repository can be found here. Okay. And let's change this as well. It says now I'm in the process of moving the creation of the pipeline layout from a virtual function of the window to the PipelineFactory task. Yeah, I don't know. Am I still working on that? Maybe. I don't know. I have so many open-ended subtasks now that I completely lost track. Completely. I'll just add something. Currently working on So automatic generation of GLSL declarations and the pipeline layout and the related pipeline layout. So descriptors and push constants. Okay, save. If you're happy. Now what? I was here and I lost what I was doing, of course, again, as usual. Damn it. Now OBS stopped updating. That's OBS. Now it's updating. And I moved over here and it's not updating anymore. Nope. Linux is so broken as the hell. For multiple monitors. Okay, then not. Then no updating. As long as this monitor keeps working. Use of undeclared identifier, shader variable. Let's use a forward declaration, I suppose. Does the thing live in Shadow Builder? Yeah, of course it is. Of course it does. Well, the thing starts with Shadow even. This argument to member function generate has type const shader builder declaration context, but function is not marked const. I think it should be marked const generated to return the declaration. Maybe it should rename it to generate declaration, because I think I already have generate functions. Well, not too many. There's a generate, there's a different generate. I have lots of generates. Let's rename it. And was talking about, nobody knows, but if I click on this and then paste it here, this this generate here. Okay, so I'm gonna say declaration, and that is declaration context thing. Shall I copy this? I don't know. Declaration context. What? Okay, I just made it up and it already exists. Slightly confusing. I don't think this is being used. It's a mess. I made a horrible mess. It's incredible mess. So lots of work to do, I guess. Okay, I made it const and then blah. No, it's bullshit. But okay. I'm just gonna compile. What is it? Fix compile errors until it compiles, and then we run it, and then we fix the runtime errors until it works. Yep, that's not possible anymore. It's just not needed anymore, as far as I know. It's not needed anymore. I'm gonna delete this. Generate declaration, and this is no longer needed. This is not needed. I deleted this. That can be gone. Just write it all. Holy slow. Can you follow the errors? No. Let's start again. We only have a linker error. Undefined reference to vulkan shader builder push constant generate. Um, 20 times the same error. Push constant. Okay, GPS push constant, I guess. Because I have no idea what that thing is. Here it is. And it says we don't have a generate. Yeah, okay, we don't. We have a generate declaration, I think. Or do we? No, we don't. Nothing like it. Standard string. Push constant generate declaration, and I think I did not take anything, and it was const, right? and it's not implemented yet. I don't know. Right, switch back. Rename these things. Generate declaration. Yeah. Okay. So what about shader variable? Still called generate. Declaration. And then the so the other one was called vertex attribute. How the hell could it compile? Also, it doesn't have it. What? Get the feeling that I renamed the wrong thing. Generate declaration const. Oops, same thing. Well, that fixed the linker errors. So no, not that. Come on, what are you doing? This one. Yeah, okay, so that's the first one that's being called. What should it do? I think it should do something pretty close to the other is used in. However, basically this should not exist anymore, right? Okay, so this won't compile. Commented out this one, commented out this one. I don't care much about asserts, but that one is still there. This is in vertex input attribute descriptions. Ouch, that runs over all the over vertex attributes, and then right. Yep. Okay, so that's the map. We're gonna need a map here, whatever it is. Oh boy. So I want to replace this thing with that thing. I can only find that back by the GLSL string, I think. Yeah, this is not nice. What am I doing? Okay, so I need a way to find back, well, at the very least, indeed, pointer to the base class, which is this. And the key here of this map is the GLSL ID string. So then the question is, do I have that at that point where I'm still using it? Well, I have a vertex attribute. Okay, vertex attributes, yeah, check. That's this class. And that class has a pointer to the layout, and the layout has the string. Ta-da! So that should work. How do we get my string here? Because it's not even private. I just read it, okay. Oh, this is nicer. I can call this, then I get the string. And that's on the vertex attribute. So if we go here, then that called on the vertex attribute returns my string. And then that must be looked up in a map, and if it doesn't exist, then we have troubles. So it might as well do it like this, so map like this. And that returns the value, which is then immediately the location, I think, right? Well, I have a check here. Let's find it. Okay, I'm gonna find it. So it's already typed that. Iter is, and then my map dot finds the string. And then, yeah, what is my map? That's a big problem here. Let's see, find returns not an iterator, or does it? It does return an iterator. So this is correct. Oh, it's an iterator to a value type, which is a standard pair of key and. So indeed, second is on the location. The rest can be kept. I just need the name of my map, starting with this, and vertex shader location context. Oh, I hope not. No, starting with the class that we are in, share input data. Oh, this does not exist anymore. But instead, I do have this thing here. That's the map. That's the thing that I want. Oh, this is a map from a string to a unique pointer. Yeah, okay, so we have here something like find in that map by string. And then do not be the end of that map. Except that my iterator now does not point to an int anymore. It points to a unique string. Well, that is iter second is equal to a unique string to something. So I'm going to say I can make up a function name, but this is a base class that should not know about locations. There is probably a better way, but I think that for now, otherwise I just don't see anymore what I'm doing. Actually, maybe start to wonder if this is the right approach at all, right? How about the cost? Yeah, that's probably, that makes more sense. I can even check it if I use a dynamic cost, I think. Okay, so this here is a unique pointer. A unique pointer to, if I forgot, of course. Blah, blah, blah. This is what it is. So yeah, just a unique pointer to declaration context. So what I can do is I get that pointer, declaration context is we can just do get. Oh no, it should work. It's probably const, isn't it? I just copied it. It's not const. Oh, might as well make it const because I'm not going to change anything here. And then I'm going to cast it to, what is the namespace here? Probably, oh, shared builder. Okay, now I'm confused. What is in pipeline? Yeah. Which means that I need a shared builder namespace here. And here. Too many shared builder namespaces in pipeline namespace. Something is wrong there. Anyway, I think that if I find a vertex attribute by name, then the thing is a vertex attribute. Ta-da! Vertex attribute const pointer is, and then I can do static cast. Why not? I mean, let it crash. It just should be correct, right? That's what it should be. Let's add a comment. This must be a vertex attribute because we found it. I'm using the key. Yeah, proven. It has been proven. It's not true, of course, but if it's not true, then it's a bug. Well, I already used vertex attribute here. Okay. I'm slightly confused here. This is not correct. This is not correct. It is a vertex attribute declaration context. And then, of course, it's easy. I still have to add this name here. How shall I call it? Well, let's call it vertex attribute declaration context. And then we can do that location. Wheel. I think this looks good. But is it good? That is the question. Member reference type const shader builder vertex attribute is not a pointer. Okay, it's just not a pointer. We can't help it. GLSL ID string is a private member of vertex attribute. Why the hell is this private? It's an overridden thing. I'll go through layout then. Layout GLSL ID string. I don't know. Oops, wrong button. Not. Tja. No member named location. Yeah, I know. I just made it up. In Vulkan JLSL vertex, but at least this exists. Yeah. That's something. Oh, delete. Where's my delete key? It's too dark here. Oh, damn it. Oh, right. Now, if only it was that easy, right? Shader variable pointer. Seriously? Who on earth would store it like that? Well, it's just, you know, it's just a vertex attribute. Disguise. A vertex attribute in disguise. Shader variable. Yeah, okay. So I have pass a shader variable pointer to location. And shader variable pointer, probably that thing as a pointer, and then we get the base class of it. If it compiles, it works. It's just the way I write code, it can't help it. I just try random things, and the code is so good that if the random things compile, which I don't do now, but then it works. Seldom that it doesn't work. And yeah, if I try random things that are not correct, then you get something like this. It doesn't compile. No viable overloaded operator. Hey, SJ is here. Yeah, well, I'm coding. I lived like 20 years least with a helicopter headset on my head, like 24/7, because I'm sensitive to sounds. The helicopter headset is you know, what is it called? The Bose Aviation 820 or something like that. But I had it on to keep noise out, right? Like it's intended to keep the helicopter motor sound out. And then after I moved to where I live now, it was so silent that I haven't had my headphones on for 3 years. But today, I put my headphones back on. So I'm kind of sad. You said, what's up? Well, that's up. I just put on, after 3 years, I put on my anti-noise helicopter motors. Well, actually, I put it on because of barking dogs and music that I heard from outside. Just can't stand it. What's wrong here? No viable overloaded operator. Something for type const. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Why is it const? My map is const. Yeah, well, you and me, man. The world is way too noisy, and most people apparently are deaf, or they I don't know. They don't hear it. They just don't hear all the noises. It's unbelievable. I hear all of them all the time. Well, not all the time, but when I'm home, I definitely do. And it makes me crazy. Society is not what is the word? They want to be there for all the minorities, but there's absolutely no understanding for people who are sensitive to noise. Okay, this is clear, right? This operator exists, it says, but method is not marked const, so the const is the problem. However, the only reason is that in the case it doesn't exist, then it adds it, which is not allowed when it is const. I think they should overload the operator. But whatever. But by the way, what you do other than coding? I like chess. That counts. But yeah, that for the rest, there's one other thing that I'm interested in, but it's too private, so I can't talk about that. Most of my time I spend coding. There must be a better way these days to get something out of a map. Is there no way to get something out of a map except with find? Guess I could use try and place, but that's ridiculous. No, I guess there's not. Add has a const. What happens if it does not exist then? Return value reference to the mapped value or the requested element. Exception. Standard out of range if the container does not have an element. Aha! Without bounds checking, they say. Shall I use add? No, why not? It should throw. Yeah, that should work. I don't know. And if it doesn't work, then it will not compile. Very simple. It's logic. I think it compiled. Yeah, totally. It compiled. The program is not working, but that's because I know it's not working. I've got what I did. Let's just run it and see where it crashes. It is crashing there. Okay, we're calling is used in, yeah. Oh, right. I get it, yeah. Why is this so difficult? You have no idea how difficult this is. Vertex. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, I think I have to replace this thus with something that looks like the other is used in, and we're just doing that. Declaration context equals shader input data GLS ID string to declaration context find prefix, right? Question 1, do we have a prefix? No, I mean, even if we had, I don't want to use the prefix here because this is a vertex attribute, and the vertex attribute I don't think doesn't even have that. I want to use this. I'm starting to think I should make this public. It's getting annoying. But okay, I'll stick to that one for now. Oh, that is inside that function. Yeah, well, I'll use that then. The GLSL ID string, right? So that's the full string, and we find that, and then we have the declaration context, which is going to replace this thing. Yippee! And then next step, I don't know. Let's look at the other function again. Right, this prefix should already have been inserted. It's not the case for the other thing, but let's crash then, right? So I'm gonna do this check. Dude, I haven't done anything else my whole life. I am a professional open source coder. You don't want to know how long I have been coding. But I'm interested in why, you ask. Now, if you look at GitHub, you see that I have, let me look at GitHub for you. I have 79 repositories, of which Google this is not mine, so I'll count the ones that are not written by me. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 7. 8, 9, 10, I don't know what it is, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, 26 are not mine. So I have 35 repositories on GitHub. It's a way of life, man. You can't do open source just to have it in your resume, if you ask me. Not even sure if it looks good then. Right, so this is going to crash because it was never inserted. Yeah, and I need to think of a comment here. The comment was like, I'm gonna peek here again. Prefix should already is not a prefix, but should already have been inserted by something. That's a good question what that is then. Well, when I started with C++, that was around the time that internet just came up. Around, internet didn't exist-ish. The biggest hard disk, which nobody could afford, but the university, was 4 gigabyte, was big, and made a noise and a vibration like a washing machine. 4 gigabyte. So don't think there was many choices in languages. I had been coding in BASIC, GFA BASIC, Pascal, assembly of course, Fortran shortly, C a lot. What's this other language? It's also not interesting. The only language that I really liked was C. But if you made a mistake in C, then the whole operating system crashed. And you had to reload your operating system from tape. Back when I was really young. So I started in GFA BASIC, which was, it sounds like BASIC. It did have line numbers, but it was more like Pascal structured language. But it was at least an interpreted language. So if you made a mistake, you wouldn't bring down the whole operating system. And when I started to look at C++, I was like, wow, this is the way I code in C. But it was a brilliant match with how I think and how I code. And then I probably mean the object orientation of it. But that was way before C++ 11, of course. One of the earliest, I think C++ existed 25 years then, but they have made so many changes lately. I can hardly keep up. What? I can't keep up. Still lots of things that they added that I don't know. So I'm an absolute expert in the old C++, but I'm writing in C++ 20 now. And yeah, starting with C++ 11, I was already old, basically, and I have been doing it a lot, but not 30 years, not in C++ 11. But I'm pretty good with templates. When templates just came out, template didn't exist at the time when I started with C++. But they invented templates and they put it in the compiler, and I have found so many bugs in the compiler. Because I started to try out everything I could think of with templates, and then the compiler would crash. And then I would report a bug, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. I won't say the compiler became good with templates and stable because of me, but I did report a lot of bugs. Yeah, if you're younger, I mean, my memory is really starting to degrade noticeably, very noticeably already. So at my age, it's absolutely impossible. I don't even want to think about starting to learn a new language. And no, JavaScript is horrible, absolutely worst language ever. I wouldn't even call it a language. I know it's popular, but my God, learn something real. These days, you have. I mean, C# became popular, which is also horrible, of course, because it's just a political language. Microsoft invented to get rid of Java, which was bad in itself. It was just written to get some security for remotely running programs intended for user interfaces, and then they made it a real language. Yeah, the. Okay, so now you have Rust. There's actually people that think that Rust is better than C++, so there might be something. And Go, I think, and there's a new language now that Google made up. It's going to be a C++ killer. Aren't they all? And then, of course, you have to know Python, I guess, or yeah. I don't know Python, by the way, but it's definitely a language that you should have under your belt. What is this? I see it in my memory. Talk a bit, and now I don't know anymore what I was doing. This is add vertex attribute. Yeah, right. So I gambled, and that was the function that should add this to something. Let me see. It probably isn't already doing that. Nope. Let me jump back. So this comment here says what I should do next. It should already have been inserted by 2, where we just looked at, and that is this thing. And I probably did it already somewhere else for something else, so I can just leave this code and then grab for that. And then see if we can find that. It is here, try in place for that thing. This is an end, this is an iterator, what is it? Find. Another. Most of them are finds. All of them are finds. So this is the only try in place here. Hopefully that's a push constant then. Yeah, so we have a shader input data add push constant member, and that where is it? Here. That adds something. Normally my font is smaller, so then this fits on my monitor. This is wrong. I have to understand this. Sorry, I'm gonna go silent for a bit because I have to understand this. Otherwise, I can never copy it to the other, to the vertex attributes. Hmm? Hmm. I can't seem to wrap my head around it. Oh. Oh. How to code way over your I don't know what's the word, comprehension thing, say. I have no overview whatsoever. Yeah, I didn't even look at the error, damn it. Use of undeclared identifier location context. Yeah, I just deleted it out. Okay, let's rename that to text attribute declaration context. Update location. Yeah, well, okay, so that's, I don't know. Mysteriously, it appeared in a different class. The situation now is that I was working on something, I forgot what. And in order to finish that, I had to do something else, which seemed to be a lot of work. But I started it, I forgot what it was. And then I had to do something else. And then turned out that the big part of certain design was wrong. So I started on that. and well, and so on. Right now, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I don't know, not only what I'm doing, but I have no idea what I did, what still has to be done. Basically nothing. I'm just freewheeling on the compile errors, basically, until it works again, which might take 2 weeks or something like that. I don't think I've ever been this far from, well, what's the word? I drifted away so far that I've never been this far from what I was actually working on. No member named add element. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. Okay, add element doesn't exist. Why? Vulkan shader builder declaration context. I just renamed that. So this is probably add element to the vertex attribute declaration context. Can we still fix that? Or push constant, okay. Okay. So yeah, let's keep it pointer, and then I can cast it to a push constant. Or not? Why does the color not changed? Who has my add elements? Push constant declaration context, yeah. Well, let's do it in one. Otherwise I don't have a... Oops. I don't have a variable name. Maha. What I don't get here is, how do I get that? Declaration context iter. Is returned from find of this thing, which happens to be a map of unique pointers. Yeah, that should never compile. I don't get it. This is a unique pointer. Find returns an iterator to the value type of that map. So second is a unique pointer. I cannot cast it. I do a get. You have to admit there was an improvement. So I don't know how far we have to swim, but we are going in the right direction. And I'm not kidding when I think it's gonna take a week. Maybe more. Probably more. Member reference type, shader builder, push constant declaration context pointer is a pointer. Did you mean blah 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 blah? So something is a pointer, and I didn't understand that. Oh yeah, well it used to be a reference, right? And now it's a pointer. Okay. Same thing here. Oh yeah, oh my god, yeah. We can do the whole thing again, or not. Let's copy it. What did I change? I think just this, right? This part. This was I think this was the starting point here. Declaration, context, ether, something, yeah. The declaration is only used. It's only used here. Right. So and nobody knows why that isn't put there right before where I use it. Oh, no member name generate declaration. In vulkan, yeah, that's correct, that's correct. Declaration context. Generate declaration. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Oops. D2F colon, yeah. Well, actually equals 0. Warning, the lead called on vulkan shader builder declaration context that is abstract process non blah blah blah. Generate private member. What? There's a different error. I mean, I know which file it is, but I want to see it. It only talks about library things. Crazy. You know what? I'm going to run make C tags. I think this should get close. Generate declaration. Or not. Where am I? Push constant. Yeah, or blah, blah. I lost it. Definitely lost it. Now I need declaration context here. Virtual. Oh yeah, and that. Okay, it's private. Let's make everything public. Allocate an object of abstract class type text attribute declaration context. In instantiation of function template specializations, and that make blah 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 requested here. In instantiation, unimplement pure virtual method generate declaration. Looks like as good as any place to start. It doesn't have that. And what was it talking about? What were you talking about? Vertex attribute declaration context. I have no idea what that is. Let's paste that here. Oh. I don't know, I lost it. Where are we? This thing, I want to have this thing, right? Definitely lost it. Okay, what do we have here? Allocating an object of abstract class type vulkan builder declaration context. And it compiles again. Oh. Okay. That's unexpected. That is unexpected. Might as well might as well crash here. What the hell? Fail core. Could not find. Can't type. Okay. That should be enough information for this function. The thing's probably empty. I can probably not print this. So what is the type of E here? That is going to be the value type of this thing, which is string unique pointer. The pointer, yeah, I don't know. Unique pointer is interesting. No, let's just print this. For now, anyway. I think that should work. Contents of shader input data GLSL blah 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 is push constant, that is the prefix, correct. And vertex data and texture coordinates. And we're trying to find vertex data and position. So yes, it looks totally like it is not in there. But that is pretty weird, isn't it? I mean, if we add that one, then why not add that one? Why? Both are used. As if that matters, but okay. Right, that's pretty strange. Going to have to add debug output where this is added, I guess, yes. So that was in, okay, what is this? Vertex attributes. Have something like add vertex attribute. How late is it? Bedtime. I think these are the declarations and these are definitions. Oh. What? I added it here, but not in the other one. So probably one is an array. This is a non-array, and the other one is what is added before. layout equals something below an assert. Yeah, so right there, point. Should be the same thing. I guess position is an array. Yep, and now we crash again on the assert. Generate declaration. But I'm going to bed because otherwise, you know, it can get arbitrarily late. Update log. Nothing is working. That's for sure. At least I'm not afraid that I will forget what I'm doing while I go to bed, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just freewheeling. So not knowing what I was doing, am doing. No wonder it isn't working, right? But it compiles, and it runs, and it crashes. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. It's late, so end of stream. I'll continue tomorrow.